Contrary to popular belief, this is not the founder of BLM. The original 7 founders have all died under mysterious circumstances. Number 1. Bassem Masri, 31. Found unresponsive on a bus. Death labeled as heart attack. Similar to MKO Abiola, Adams Unaji, and Magufuli, number 2. DeAndre Joshua, 20 years old. Found dead in torched car. Similar to Walter Rodney, number 3. Darren Seals, 29 years old and also found shot in torched car. Starting to notice something odd. Wait till you hear about the final 3. The final 3 founders of BLM, Marshawn McCarroll, 23, Dane Jones, 24, and Edward Crawford, 27. All, according to the feds, allegedly took their own lives. However, the evidence says otherwise. Dane Jones, for instance, was found hanging from a tree like a modern-day lynch victim. Despite what the media says, his family believes he was lynched. They say his mental health was fine and he couldn't have even tied the knots on the tree. The sheet he used to unalive himself wasn't even his own. This isn't the first time black activists and leaders have allegedly been removed by feds. The leaked document Cointelpro proves the FBI's involvement in the killings of black activists like Fred Hampton, MLK, and Malcolm X. Director of the FBI Edgar Hoover said in Cointelpro, the black youth and moderate must be made to understand that if they succumb to revolutionary teaching, they will be dead revolutionaries. Cointelpro had no end date BTW. Whenever a leader stands up for black people and mysteriously dies, read over the Cointelpro document. Number 7, Sasha Johnson. Mrs. Johnson is indirectly responsible for the start of the blackout strike movement. At one of her protests to take down Cecil Rhodes, a notorious slave owner and exploitator of Africa. Kanan proposed rather we focus on taking down his symbols of colonialism like a statue. Why don't we take down his corporation De Beers, which still uses child slaves to exploit Africa? But that story is for another day. Months later, Sasha was attacked by masked gunmen who escaped punishment. What strikes me most about her death and many of the leaders slain by Cointelpro is the fact the FBI and corporations use black men to do their dirty work for them to further cause divide within the black community. Sankara was killed by France, not his adoptive brother compare. Lumumba killed my CIA, not Mobutu. Don't fight the dog when the master is behind the fence laughing. Whenever there is a mysterious death of a political figure, don't look at who the finger gets pointed at. Look at who benefits the most. After all our leaders died, they are replaced with a corrupt money laundering puppet. Mobutu, Blaise Compaoré, Paul Biya, and the new founder of BLM. For more info on leaders slain by Cointelpro, check the website theblackoutstrike.com.
The dome is opening.
So you got the original people of the planet. It was 4 original species after all of the Anunnaki stuff went down, right? So you got the Sandsman, the Twa Man, the Hindu, and the Watusi. These are the 4 original species of Earth as far as humanoid go. Like it was reptilians here before dinosaurs. We can get into all that. I'm talking about as a point as far as the humans go. Now keep in mind the genetics of the Twa. Their average height is like about around 4'5", no more than 4'8". These guys. All right, the Watusi, they the taller bunch. They actually were extraterrestrials who came down from Nibiru from Orion. Right? These are Watusi. So they was actually they actually came here and landed. So these are different hairstyles that these Watusis be wearing because the type of hair texture they got is more of a woolly type texture. It's not the same as the Sandsman.
How many of you paid attention in school and remember the Civil War? How we used to line soldiers up on each side of a field, shoulder to shoulder, and they would march just firing at each other. You know, not holding a shield in front of them, nothing for cover, just marching flat out. Whoever was left on the battlefield won. Now, wouldn't you say that's an ignorant way to fight anything? I mean, I remember playing as a kid with my brothers when we threw walnuts and stuff at each other. Even we had the sense to hide behind a tree. So that's the example of something the government has done, right? Because the government enforced things like that. Your government is evil and has always been. I don't care where you're at. Okay, your government, evil, has always been. All right. So now I'm watching these wars, or rumors of wars, like in Ukraine. We're talking about gathering up all these soldiers. You know, Putin, who's the good cop on the world stage right now, because, you know, they always play a role, good cop, bad cop, is telling his people, look, when they send tanks, we're not basically going to fight them that way. You know, he realizes, and he's making it known, that's not in modern warfare. That don't make a lot of sense. All right, when you've got a little box you can put out in the field and run with a computer that'll fire off 1 million rounds per however many few seconds, why would you send bodies out there? All right, when you've got tracking systems that can fire down jets in the sky and constantly trace and send out millions of rounds, if they can do that up there, they can do it down here. Why would you send some 18-year-old kid who is just learning how to use a firearm? I don't care if he's trained from his youth like they do in China or even Ukraine for that matter. It's not the effective way to fight. They're distracting you, all right? The real warfare that's going on is not going to be fought like that. I can't remember who said it, but they said something like, hey, World War II may have been fought with guns, but World War III would be fought with sticks and stones. Now, the idea was that we'd wipe each other all out with nuclear bombs. That's not how it's going to happen either. Go and watch where the nuclear bombs allegedly dropped, and you're going to see, like, all these buildings here are destroyed, and then there'll be some that are just perfectly fine. I'm not saying we didn't use some kind of incredible power to wipe these places out, but I am saying a nuclear bomb is something you've just been told as a kid. It's like being told about the moon landing. You're told you're on some pointless spinning ball and you're in some dumb evolved monkey, okay? We've been lied to. We've been worshiping this beast system since we were little kids, all right? Just as people in the United States say, man, they really brainwashed people over in China since they were little. The fact that you're saying they're doing it over there makes me understand you have no clue that it's been done to you too, all right? It's the same beast that's deceived you from the time you were little. So friend, don't go picking up any kind of weapon and joining any kind of force, no matter how good the moral story is. All right, I was a young kid. I joined the Army during 9/11 because I believed their story. All right, I didn't know jet fuel couldn't burn hot enough to even melt steel. I didn't know 3 buildings fell that day. I didn't know that was the only time in the U.S. history where we turned down all the security of air control in one area so that the plane could allegedly get in. Now, if you go back and realize there's not even a freaking plane, there's no plane parts. Or you watch the plane, the fake one, go from one side of the building all the way out the other side, the nose of it coming out. How did the nose make it all the way through the building completely intact with all these steel rods going up? You start learning the bullshit, okay? You got to get hip to the fact that this is real warfare. It's been fought against you for a while, but the game has been upped, all right? They want to eliminate you, and they've done it to many of us.
It's not a coincidence. This is all being said and shown.
Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. See how easy that was, Corey? I didn't need $10 million. I just said it. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile.
I believe the monsters who murder children should be put to death. We seem to have quite a good agreement on that. These people murder children and they do it as slowly and viciously as possible. We will not allow these animals to terrorize our communities, and my administration will not rest. Now we're stepping it up even to a higher level. This has never happened before. There's never been any move like this before. Much of it's already taken place, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it.
I wasn't allowed to be a human. I was a topic of conversation and gossip and punchlines. It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes.
Also, would love an invite to that meeting on Wednesdays. I mean, that's... how do you have a
cloak? Need a black cloak?
I mean, I'll order one on Amazon.
And a cup of blood. Cup of blood.
Needs
to be a golden cup.
Okay.
No silver. Oh my God, they hate silver.
I'll go to Party City. You got it. Gold. Okay. Gosh.
This is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human...
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin.
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with that How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, and, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra? Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Ever heard of this liquid death water? Well, apparently this liquid death water has hired a real witch in order to put demons in these water. Liquid Death's cursed canned water makes you a demon magnet. What they do is they entice people in order to sell their soul for this can of water. But just look at the can. You got the skulls on it just being liquefied, right? And at the bottom it says, murder your thirst. Check this out.
Have you ever heard of a real witch summoning demons and trapping them inside cans of water? Inside this very warehouse sits the entire inventory of Liquid Death mountain water. Each can is about to be infused with real demons by a real witch.
A lot of what I practice can be considered traditional witchcraft.
What you're about to witness is very real, very dangerous, and in my opinion, a terrible idea.
Very real.
We enter into the dark half of the year. Now is the time of the dead. I ask you, spirits, those who are listening, I invite you here. I offer this water as a vessel for you to come into this world. When the cans are opened, you are released. I welcome you. Now is the time of the dead.
Demon-infused liquid death. If you drink it, will you become possessed?
In likely event, you may become possessed. And then, right here it says, demons infused, 100% real.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Hawk, and I recently became an ambassador for Liquid Death Mountain Water. Apparently, I didn't read the fine print, and now Liquid Death officially owns my soul. And my blood, too? I don't know, it's very confusing. They're taking my blood, and we're gonna use it for skateboard graphics. So they're gonna mix my blood into the paint and do a limited run of skateboards using my real blood in the graphics.
It's a real life ritual.
But some of the profits will go towards killing plastic pollution and to building skate parks in underserved communities. Yeah, so I guess go to liquiddeath.com to get skateboards with my blood in it.
This is a real life ritual. Look at this.
So wait, if you have my blood, that means you have my DNA.
Get a Liquid Death skateboard infused.
First of all, what person is going to purchase a skateboard riding around with someone's blood? Tony Hawk looks sick. Should be calling him Sick Hawk, not Tony Hawk. Why would you want to put this inside of your body? And they're showing you the real life rituals that they were doing. Murder your thirst with demons. Your mind being liquefied when you drink this. Yo, the end times are here. And I'm sure people are going to line up to buy this shit too. It's time to wake up, y'all. Let's get it.